I was guessing, because we are in Easter break around here as well, and I could only assume that these were kids that were on some sort of excursion that were being escorted out by police.
That's Hugh Burnham, just giving us his take on the experience of the last couple of hours outside YouTube's headquarters in California. Just to remind you what happened, about 8:45 this evening, our time, so just over 2 hours ago now, local police received a call of somebody armed inside YouTube's headquarters. We can take a look at the scene there now live. Things obviously calming down, although still a big police presence. At one point, police were actually patting down people as they left the building. People were evacuated from the building. They evacuated themselves, as you can imagine, when they heard the gunfire, and they ran outside the building, those who weren't already out there on their lunch break. One witness who was inside said on social media that they thought there was an earthquake initially because the noise of people running was so loud in the building before they realised what was happening. There seemed to have been a number of gunshots. It's not clear whether some of those shots may actually have been fired by the police officers themselves, but according to Ed Barberini, who's the head of the chief of the local police, in a news impromptu news conference he gave about 25 minutes ago now, when the police went inside, they found two people. One person appeared to be with a self-inflicted gunshot wound, and that person died at the scene. That person is thought to be the shooter, was a woman, and then the other person was somebody whose injuries are now described as critical, and they're in a hospital in San Francisco, along with about 4 or 5 other people. It's not clear the exact numbers yet, who have suffered injuries of some kind. Again, it's not even clear if those are gunshot injuries. They could be injuries simply caused by trying to get out at speed out of the building. You know, the sorts of things people trip over, they fall over, they knock into things, whatever. So we don't have a lot of details yet. The police have promised another news conference soon, but that's the scene at YouTube headquarters, San Bruno, which is just south of San Francisco in California. It's still early afternoon there. Lovely afternoon, of course. Lots of people were outside at the time who work in the building because it was lunchtime when this incident erupted. The big questions will be, who was the woman? Was she an employee of the company? Was she a visitor to the site? Was this in any way a political act? Was it an act against the company? Was it a domestic incident? Was it something entirely unconnected to YouTube? Those questions would doubtless be ones that will be asked in the coming hours. And of course, as soon as we have more from California, we will bring it to you on BBC News. You're watching BBC News, and if you were tuning in for tonight's edition of Newsnight, I'm sorry to be able to tell you that, regrettably, because of those breaking news from California, we won't be bringing you that programme. It is, of course, available on the iPlayer, where you can catch up with what Evan Davis was talking about on there right now. Now, the upsurge of violent crime on the streets of London is centre focus, and it's prompted the Mayor, Sadiq Khan, to promise a robust response following the death of a 17-year-old girl who was shot dead last night, and a short while ago news that a 16-year-old boy who died in an unconnected shooting at about the same time in another part of London has since died in a hospital. The Metropolitan Police has now launched its